Hi guys. Hey, what's happening? Right. It's great to be here. Awesome, guys. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? It's another Sunday evening, and I'm just excited to be here. I mean, it's amazing. The connect just releases an energy in me that I don't understand. All right. So I'm doing some setup as we open. It's going to be an amazing episode. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting ready to get this train moving, and let me take the volume down a bit. All right, so guys, welcome to another episode of the Connect to Sunday evening. It's amazing to be here. I had such a phenomenal time over the past couple of weeks just playing around the subject matter for today. It's amazing. Again, welcome to, for those of you that were not with us yesterday and on Sunday, welcome to the month of December. I truly love the month of December. Apart from the fact that all the things that attend to December. This is the month of my birth, and for many reasons and many obvious reasons, I'm very excited when it comes to the month of December. But much more than that, or aside from that, we've been on a topic that literally has just been blowing my mind. We call it a memo to 2022, and it's been great to just having this conversation with William Anwana. All right, so William is in the waiting room already. He's going to be in the studio in like 2 seconds or so. But in the meantime, I just want to do some room keeping, some housekeeping before we bring William in. So, um, for those of you that didn't join us yesterday on Instagram, my goodness, Instagram was literally, it was a blaze. We had an extension. Yes, I know. Somebody sent me a message this morning, I think around 4 a.m. or so, and said, "But you said it was a two-part series." I said, "Yeah, well, you know what? There's always the sandwich in between." All right. So the Instagram live session was the meat in between, was the bacon in between, and all of that was the cheese in between. And we had such a phenomenal time yesterday, even as we went through the entire concept of what your thoughts are premised on and how it affects your every activity, still speaking on the things that we could have done, perhaps that informed what we did in 2021, the kind of choices that we had, the kind of decisions we made, and why we thought, why we performed in the way that we performed, and a whole lot more than that. It was truly an amazing episode, and I've been having great fun, great fun, just breaking down, dissecting, and listening to phenomenal thoughts, such phenomenal thoughts from my guest. But we're gonna push it further today. Good evening, Umfon. Great to have you. Great to have you here. We're gonna push it further today, and today is the concluding episode of the series. And literally, I can say today is the last full episode in that essence of a series in 2021. So, hey, you know what? You guys are in a great place. You're in a super great place today. Super great place today. So, I'm going to be bringing in my guest shortly. You know him. All right. I just had I just had a look. Okay, guys. So let me serve a disclaimer. whatever you see once it comes in, I'm not responsible for it. So for the first few seconds when it comes into the studio, I just had a look at him in the waiting room and I'm like, oh my goodness, whatever you see, hey, I'm not responsible. But guys, you know what? With much love, hey, you know how we do. Welcome, William. He says he's the greatest of all time. Anwana.
Even of all time,
Why are you like this? Why are
of
you like
all
this?
time.
You know what? You know what? Publicly, I agree. All right,
Of course, you
awesome.
don't have a choice, man. You know how we
But
do. You know how we do.
I'll let it slide today. How you doing, bro? It's good to see you. We did have time to have a conversation before we came on, and
Mhm.
it's great. It's great to have you here. It's been an amazing day. How's your Sunday been?
It's been awesome. I had so much to do. I had to go from here to there, do a lot of stuff, family stuff, and all that. But I am ready. I'm ready to go. I am pumped. For us to just conclude this amazing conversation we've had over the last week or so.
Yeah, same here.
Yep.
Same here.
Yep.
It's been a full day, and I just said like I literally just got free just a few minutes ago, and I said no, we got to get everything all set and that. So here we are, and it's time to shoot. It's time to move on. Um, it's amazing. We had such a phenomenal time on Instagram yesterday. Much love to the
Yep.
Instagram family and all of that. We need to do a whole lot more with Instagram. I tell you, we need
Yep.
to do a whole lot more with Instagram. Hey, Facebook. I'm not saying there's no love here. Or YouTube. I'm not saying there's no love. But there was just this love on Instagram that we really like. So we'll find ways to be able to integrate all platforms as soon as we can. But guess what? That all that is going to come to you in 2022. All right. But talking of 2022, um, William, it's all about a memo to 2022, and I like the way we started off the conversation last Sunday, all right? And
Yep.
then we had that conversation move into yesterday, just last night. And then we are running the concluding part today. And we talked about the foundation, the entire foundation of it, your thoughts, and where you get the things that fill your mind up that now create an ideology for you and transmits into a philosophy, and that now becomes what is seen as your mentality and reflects in your attitude, and
Yep.
how this impacts and literally shapes everything that you do. We also spoke about the place of your identity, understanding your identity and identity crisis, and so that you now begin. He that understands his identity and knows who he is the one that can see what is amiss or what is not in tandem or what is not aligned with his or identity. And we talked about that. And it was really fascinating how you were able to, wrap all of that around. Interesting piece that I will not forget in a hurry was when we looked at the concept of leadership. All right. And then we went all the way back to the days of the ancient Greek and how the ideologies that they had at that time was propagated across the world through different machinery and all of that. And so that the experience that our forebearers and us, by extension, and the nations of the world, in many regards, still experience today, came from
Yep.
something that started by a group of people many years ago. And then, if worthy to note was that when the Romans went into Greece, they were able to do some sort of preservation. All right, so they were the carriers. All right, so if the Greeks had a virus, the Romans were the carriers. They were the propagators of that so called virus. And I remember saying yesterday that it was extremely important that we noted that because they had a media, all right, and you did a great job breaking down what a media is in this context. Because they had a media, they were able to communicate their ideologies. And so, how you are able to communicate that, and you know how huge I am on communication, how you're able to
Mhm.
communicate your ideologies in many regards will determine the level of influence, all right, will develop the level of influence that you have on your world and the people around about it. And you know that influence is basically the premise of leadership. So
Yep.
the people that lead the world are not necessarily those that carry guns and swords and shields, but they are those that are able to get people to behave and act in a certain way. So there was a
Yep.
lot that came out of that. And for me, now streaming it down to say 2021, all right. And of course, I won't forget you talked about the movie Matrix and all of that, and the entire concept behind the movie Matrix. And now streaming that to 2021, one thing that comes out is what exactly informs you that shows up on your job from 8 to 5 or 8 to 6 or 8 to 8, all right, and you show up on your job, and what informs the way you perform? What informs your attitude in the workplace? What informs the level of commitments that you have to the obligations and responsibilities and relationships that you have? Why do you think certain things can be done, and why do you think certain things cannot be done? Why do you receive, all right? Why do you receive things in the way that you receive them? And then why do you feel the need to be able to communicate things in the way that you attempt to communicate them? Because everything that we have discussed so far has brought us to a point of now getting us to understand that, look, everything that our total experience is not didn't just fall from a tree.
Yep.
And certain things need to be prodded. Certain questions need to be asked. Certain bushes need to be ruffled up, and certain embers have to be flamed. And so
Yep.
that you can now get the right kind of clarity. All right. And clarity is
Yep.
key. The right kind of clarity that rightly now positions you for the level of excellence that you're called to be, for the optimal level of performance that you're called to be, and to simply have the kind of experience that you desire to have, so that you can now rightly bring your mentality, your desires in alignment so that your goals can be attained. And that really is what we've spent the last 2 episodes. All right.
Yep.
For you guys on
Yep.
Facebook, you hear me? Yes, 2 episodes. One last Sunday and one yesterday. All right. 2 episodes talking about. And so here we are on
Here we
this
are.
concluding episode of A Memo to 2022. And that memo has got to go out today, William.
It
So
has got to go out today.
what's years thou?
We have got to rip it up. We have got to rip it up. This is going to be the greatest episode even of all time.
You really had to do this, right? You really had
Yeah,
to do
yeah, I
this.
had
But
to.
guess what? The floor is yours. The floor is yours. Take it up from here and have fun
Okay.
with it. I'll be in it.
All right, all right. Thank you, AU, and good evening, folks. Good evening, everybody. I have had such a phenomenal time this last week. Yesterday and last Sunday, it was just awesome. It was mind blowing, right? Even the things that I didn't really think about consciously, right, just came to the fore because as we're just talking, we're talking, things were just coming out, insights were coming out, and it was like, whoa, what is this? But today, folks, we're going to bring the roof down. We're not going to light anything. We're going to bring the roof down, right? And AU, I must commend you because you did such a phenomenal job of wrapping up, everything that we discussed. I couldn't have done it any better, and that is saying a lot because I'm the greatest of all time. But whatever. But really, I think that what we have tried to do this last 2 weeks is not necessarily causing people to immediately drop everything that they have believed so far, right? Because you can't do that in a day. You can't do that in a week. You can't do that in a couple of episodes, right? But what you can do is to begin to challenge people's thoughts, right? Because if you've held on to a particular concept for so long, right, it's difficult for you to just break it overnight. But if you can begin to get people to ask a different set of questions, this thing I have believed in for so long, is it correct? If I looked at it this other way, what would happen? And that is what I hope that we have achieved so far. If we've done that, I think that our job, has been done, right? Now, in moving the conversation forward, right, I started yesterday, or rather I concluded yesterday by sort of giving an opener into the things I wanted to talk about, things I wanted to share today. And if you recall, I said that our life here on earth is really determined by two forces, or rather our ability to either manage, control, align
Time.
with, or do anything that we need to do with those two forces, because they determine everything else, right? Even though we have set the foundation of having the right mindset and belief system, these two forces also need to be put in their proper perspectives for us to move forward. And what are those two forces? Time, you said it, right? And change. Time and change, right? Because if you're not able to manage them properly, if you're not able to align your concepts or your ideologies or your philosophies with them properly, no matter how you strive or how you desire to make a success of your life in 2022 or beyond, these two things will continue to trip you up, right? So it's very important that I think we should sort of frame the conversation by starting out by examining these two concepts and our relationship with them. So first of all, very briefly, time. So what is time? Well, we have an idea of what time is, right? It's the period that we spend doing something, the period that we're born, etc. But I want to reframe it in another way, right? To my understanding, time is a gift, right? It is a gift. Why do I say it's a gift? Because if you understand that everything in this world was created for a purpose, it means that everything is tied into the other thing, right? One thing is tied to another, and concepts are linked together. Now, the concept of time as a gift is that the creator, right, when he created you, he put you on this earth in a particular period, right? Now, have you ever wondered or asked yourself the question, why was I born in the year that I was born? Why wasn't I born 1,000 years ago? Why wasn't I born a century ago? Why wasn't I
Because
born?
William,
Yeah,
because I've always asked myself that question, why you were
yeah,
born in the same range where I was born. I mean, you could have born when the dinosaurs were there, and I'll be all good now. So it's a real question that I ain't done asking yet.
yeah.
But
But
just
I
go
have,
ahead.
I have, I have the answer for you.
No, there's no need for the answer. Let's just
No, no,
focus on
I
what
want.
we came
Now, I
to.
want to. No, you asked, and I like to share knowledge. So no,
I
no,
no
no, it's
longer
fine. No, it's
I no
fine.
longer
It's fine. No,
want
no, but I will
an
tell
answer.
you. I will tell you anyway, right? Because you asked and I like to share knowledge. Now, the reason why you were born in the same era and the same month I was born was because you had to recognize that even though you're truly great, I am the greatest of all time.
All right, so
End of
ladies and
story.
gentlemen,
So moving
what
forward.
is it that we are having? And then we'll be right back after this commercial. Thank you very much. Let's get
Dude,
back to it.
you shouldn't have interrupted me, brother. Now, so where was I? So, why were you born in the year that you were born, in the period that you were born, in the century you were born, in the decade you were born, right? Now, the thing is, time is a gift. I said time is a gift. Now, you were born to achieve a specific purpose, a specific
Mm,
assignment. So, the gift of time is for you to achieve that assignment within that period, right? Everything has been determined, right? The purpose for that you were born to start or to see to its fulfillment was determined to come about in this particular era or in this particular period. So you were born at the right time to fulfill
mm,
your purpose within this period. But
mm.
the problem is, if you don't understand what your purpose is, you will end up misusing your time. You will end up misusing your time. Now,
Say that
everybody
again.
has,
Say that
if
again. I
I'll
want
say
you
that
to say
again.
it again.
I'll say that again. If you don't understand what your purpose is, you'll end up misusing your time. You have to remember and you have to know that everybody has been given the same allotment of time. How many hours are there in a day? 24 hours. Nobody has 23. Nobody has 19. Nobody has 26. Nobody has 30. We all have 24 hours in a day. And with each day that comes, it is an opportunity for you to maximize the time that you have in order to make sure that whatever you're doing in the quest to fulfill your purpose is being aligned within a time frame, because you don't have forever to achieve your purpose. You have a purpose, yes, but you don't have forever to achieve the purpose. Your purpose is meant to be achieved within the time frame of your life. Your time frame here on earth has already been set. Now, there's a passage, this interesting passage in the book of Job, right, that says that you, God, have already determined the length of the time of man, and
Days.
you have set a boundary that cannot
Yeah.
be exceeded. You have set a boundary that cannot be exceeded. Now, have you ever wondered to yourself, it comes to year end and you just hear that so and so person has died, so and so other person lost his life, and it's not like they're sick or something happened to them or they had a condition. They just maybe slumped, and you're wondering, what happened? What happened? So we hear all sorts of stories of, okay, well, God just decided to take him away, or this happened, it's fate, it's life, it's the way things happen. But have you ever thought about it, that just perhaps that person's time was up and he was recalled? If you think about it in that way, it reframes the entire conversation. Because look, you have X number of years, right? Once that time is done, you have to go. Now, if you haven't fulfilled the purpose that you were supposed to fulfill within that time frame, and you have come to the end of it, and you haven't met it, you're going to have issues, right? Because, like we said last week, success is not what you've done compared to what other people have done. It is what you have done compared to what you were supposed to do. The question you're going to be asked is, dude, did you do what you were supposed to do? It's either a yes or a no. There was no I tried. There was no, there were so many issues. There's no AU was on my back. Did you do it?
Or I was surviving William. More like I was surviving William.
Whatever, man. Right.
I want to put that out there. Yeah. But it's all right. Go on. No excuses. No.
So you have to understand that the concept of time is very important, right? And if you misuse your time, you're going to end up having issues by the end of your life, right? Now, we talk about the fact that, if you look at human beings, what is the one major fear that we all have? What is the one major fear that is common to all of us? It is the fear of death. It is the fear of death. Nobody wants to die, right? Like Two-Face said in his song, everybody wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. But death is inevitable. But, we're scared of death because we think that it is the end of everything. But it is not the end. It is only a comma. It's not a period. It is not a full stop. Because you are not a physical creature trying to have a spiritual experience. You're a spirit being having a physical experience. So once your time is done here, all you're doing is to let go of your physical experience and you're being translated to a spiritual experience. Spirits don't die, right? We just leave the earthly housing. Now, we say that human beings are scared of death. But why is that? We have to understand that. And for me, I've come to realize that human beings don't want to die because deep down in their hearts, they know that they haven't really done what they're supposed to do. That is why they don't want to die. Whether they realize it or not, whether they're conscious of it or not, that is the reason. But the thing is that even though we have this fear of death generally, for those people who have discovered their purpose, who have gone a long way in fulfilling it or have fulfilled it, death doesn't threaten them. They are not scared of dying because they know that I have come and I've done what I was supposed to do. And if it's time for me to go, then it's time for me to go. So if you look at someone like Paul, right? What did Paul say? I have run my race. I have finished my course. I am now ready to be offered because there's nothing left for me to do. I'm ready to go. He wasn't scared. And even if you don't want to be so spirit coco, right? If you look at recent examples, take for example Mandela, right? Mandela he had found his purpose by being the torchbearer of freedom, by lifting apartheid from his people. And when he and his compatriots were put in front of the judge, what did he say? He said that, my Lord, freedom is an ideal that I long to live for, right? I'm paraphrasing, right? But if need be,
if I have to die,
It is an ideal. It is an ideal that I'm prepared to die for. He was ready to die for what he believed. Another example, Malcolm X, right? Another great person that is one of my heroes, right? Malcolm had this belief that the blacks in America were just subjugated, and someone just had to help them to fight and to be a voice where the masses of black people couldn't be a voice. And he was ready to accept the consequences of whatever he believed in. If you watch the movie Malcolm X, right, the great scene that comes at the end when he was assassinated, he stood in front of the podium and he greets the crowd, right? The first assassin comes out, with a loaded shotgun. What did Malcolm do? He turns to him and he just smiles. If you want to do it, then go ahead. The guy blasts him away and Malcolm dies, right? But he had made his mark on the world. Martin Luther King, another great guy, said, in addressing his people, I may not get to the promised land with you, but I have seen it. Longevity has its place, right? I want to live a long life like anybody, but that is not my concern. My concern is that I can see the vision and I know that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm not scared of death. So all these people, you realize it is because they had found their purpose and they had fulfilled their purpose. That is why they were not afraid to die. Right. Now let's frame that within the main context of this conversation. And what is the main context of this conversation? It is really success. That is why we're having this conversation. We want to put 2022 on notice, right? Because we are demanding and we're saying that, look, 2021, it's almost gone. But look, 2022, here I come. And I'm coming with a big bang because I'm going to be success. I'm going to be successful. So really, success is at the core of what we're talking about. But here's the thing, right? Everybody wants to be successful, right? Everybody needs to be successful. It is one of the desires that is hardwired into the human heart. But for you to be successful, and I want to link this to some of what I said yesterday for those of us who weren't there. For you to be successful, there are 5 questions you need to ask yourself. Not just to ask, but also to answer. Now, these 5 questions actually control human life. It is our attempt to answer these 5 questions that has given rise to all the issues, and I'm not joking, all the issues that we see in the world. The issue of racial of disconnect, right? The issue of apartheid, the issue of people like Boko Haram. All these things come from our attempt to answer these 5 questions. Many of us have failed. Many of us have right? Many of us have mismanaged it. Many of us are not answering it correctly, but we all have the need to answer these 5 questions, right? You can reduce all of human life to these 5 questions because they are what govern human life. And what are these 5 questions? Who am I? Who am I? Where am I from? Right? Why am I here? What can I do? That's number 4. What can I do? Number 5, where am I going? Those are the 5 questions of human life. And if you're able to answer those 5 questions correctly, I guarantee that you will be successful. But these questions are easier asked than answered, right? Because like I just said, all the problems that we're having in the earth today, in the world today, is due to our attempt to answer these 5 questions, and we have done so unsuccessfully for the most part.
Before you go with 5 questions, right? Let's put a baseline to it so people can have an understanding. So the first question speaks to identity. All right, so just lay it out like that. So
thank you. Yeah, I was just about to jump into that. Right. So who am I? Where am I from? Why am I here? Right? What can I do? And where am I going? What is the first question? Who am I? Who am I is a question of identity. Now, you asked a very interesting question yesterday that why do we have the issue of identity crisis? It is simply because we have not answered this question correctly. Now, if I ask people that question, who are you? What they will tell me is not who they are. They will tell me what they do. So I'll ask the question, who are you? They'll say, I'm a doctor. I'm a banker.
That's not.
I'm a lawyer. I'm a business person. No, 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 no. I did not ask you what you do. I asked you who you are, right? And for me, and for you to tell me what you do, it means that you don't understand that question at all, because who you are is not what you do. It is something else entirely. And that leads to the issue of identity crisis. It is because we don't know or realize who we are that we're having the issues of identity crisis. Most of us want to be other people. We want to be the movie stars that we see on the big screen. We want to be the music artists that we see in the videos, right? We just want to emulate them because we don't know who we are. And it's something that affects all of us, because I remember back in my teens, in fact, even through my childhood, into my teens, into my early 20s, I was always wanting to be one person or the other. If I didn't want to be Bruce Lee, I wanted to be Incredible Hulk. If I didn't want to be the Incredible Hulk, I wanted to be Michael Jackson. I wanted to be the Beatles. I wanted to be Samson. I wanted to be Moses. I wanted to be everybody else except you.
Yeah. What? Just wait. Just a few seconds. I'm rolling out of my chair because I don't understand. Like, I mean, even if you want to be like everybody, be like people that I like. How do you want to be Incredible Hulk and then be Michael Jackson? I don't understand. What? Incredible Hulk in a I don't understand Incredible Hulk dancing. Why are you so? Anyway, we'll talk about this after.
We'll talk about it
Part
after.
of the reason, this is part of the things I have to contend with. Surviving William season 1. That's 2022, by the way, guys.
All right.
Watch out for Surviving William season.
Whatever, man. Okay, so I think a lot of us can relate to this, right? Because we want to be other people, but we don't understand who we are. And that is where the issue of identity crisis comes about. That is why we want to dress like people, other people, want to dress like the images that we're seeing, want to talk like them, want to act like them, want to be cool like them, want to have their swag, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that who you are truly aligns with those images. So once you have that disconnect, you're having an identity crisis, right? What is the next question? Where am I from? And I'm taking them one after the other because they're all connected, right? Where am I from? Where am I from is not a question of your ethnic heritage or your ethnic background, right? So when I ask you, where are you from? I don't expect to hear, I'm from 18 and local government, right? I don't want to hear, I'm from Spain. I don't want to hear I'm from Italy, right? Because if you try to answer that question using your ethnic heritage, you are going to get lost. Now, what is the issue? The issue is that if you don't know who you are, you won't know where you're from. And if you don't know where you're from, you will not know who you are, right? So you must answer those questions. What is the next question? Why am I here? That is also interrelated to the other two. Because if you don't know who you are, and if you don't know where you're from, you will not know why you are here. Because if you don't know, you must know who you are. Once you know who you are and you know where you're from, you will know why you are here, right? What is the next question? What can I do? What can I do is the question. Why am I here is the question of purpose, right? By the way, what can I do is the question of potential. You're asking, what is my true ability? What am I really capable of, right? And I can guarantee that most of us, maybe 90%, 95% of us are living below our potential. Guaranteed. Why are we living below our potential? Because we don't know what we are truly capable of. And once you don't know that, right, you're not going to exceed the limits of what you think is possible. You will be constrained within your thinking. So things like culture and the educational system, what they're doing is to suggest to us that this is our place and you can go no further. And once you're limited by that sort of thinking, you really will not be able to go any further. Because if you don't believe, like we've been saying, if you don't believe that you can do something, you will not do it. Now, the people who have been able to break away from those chains, the people who we call exceptional people, without an exception, all of them have broken away from cultural limitation, educational limitations, right? Someone like Isaac Newton, who is widely described as the father of gravity, right? He was considered a dunce in school. Someone like Albert Einstein was considered a dullard. But who are these people today? right? There are people that the world remembers as being geniuses because they refuse to conform to the idea that whatever the cultural system of that day or the educational system of that day said was their lot. They were like, no, that is not who I am. And another example I'd like to bring to the fore, which is something that I read recently. I don't know how many of us know this famous jazz musician, Louis Armstrong. He was the guy who sang "What a Wonderful World," right? Now, Louis Armstrong, yeah. Now Louis Armstrong was, if you know his voice, he had this really deep, gravelly voice. And when he wanted to start out in music, he went to a music school, right? And in music school, they'll ask you if you want to be a singer, they'll ask you to run scales, like sing a C sharp or an F flat, or do like the do re mi fa, all the way to do, right? And he couldn't get past the fifth note. He couldn't get past the fifth note, and they were like, dude, this is not you. Can you just please get lost? So the guy went away. He was despondent. He was in tears. He was like, I can't do this, right? But after a while, right, he was just like, no, I have music inside me. I know I have music inside me, and they cannot keep me out. So what did he do? He didn't go back to music school. He just decided to go on his own and develop his own talent. Today, most people know Louis Armstrong, but they don't know the people in the music school. We don't even know their names, and we don't even want to know, right? So that is the importance of breaking away from cultural mindsets or limitations, because culture cannot define your potential. They don't know you. They don't know who you truly are. So if you listen to the wrong source, and if you imbibe their message, you will be curtailed by whatever they think you can do. Whatever they think you can do. You have to realize that your potential, nobody can judge your potential, because who you are has never been discovered. There's not going to be anybody like you ever again, and there was no one like you ever before. You are a one of a kind individual.
Wait, hold on, William. You know what? This is. We need to like pause for a few seconds so that people can take this in, because what you just said here was affirm that, listen, it is true that you are unique.
Yep.
It is true. I mean, we all heard it. Oh, I'm unique. There's no one like me. But we've never understood how it works and why you're unique. So you have an assignment that has been given to you, a purpose that is customized for you. And so because of that purpose, you're given gifts, talent, and enablement for the sake of that purpose. Everything that you ever have and will ever have is for the sake of that purpose. All right.
Yep.
So you are wired to win, and you are equipped to excel in your purpose. Now, because your purpose is unique, your giftings are unique to you. So nobody has ever seen the unfold of your potential before you unfold it.
Yes, sir.
People will speak to you based on where they are, so that you are either kept where they are or you are subjugated to where they are. People won't speak to you to the core unfolding of your purpose. So where's Satchmo today, by the way, guys? That's Satchel Mouth. The Satchmo was Satchel Mouth. You're right, from his from the stuff he had on his lip, from the sacs on his mouth. Now, everybody knows Louis Armstrong today. Nobody, I don't even know the names of the people that told him he couldn't make it. If you will dare to believe, guys, listen, I am breaking protocol now. If you will dare to believe, nobody in 2022 will remember those that said you couldn't make it.
Yes, sir.
If you will dare to push ahead, if you will dare to just go that little extra, just do the ordinary in an extra way, and then do the extra in an extraordinary way. If you will dare to just keep on walking, nobody, as you unfold your purpose, as you manifest and blossom into that which you were designed to blossom into, which is why I made for you, people won't remember those that said you couldn't do it, because you know what? They are part of a fix. They're part of a mold. There is nothing about them
that is matrix.
Nothing about them. But you were meant. You are uniquely crafted for an assignment, living in purpose for purpose.
Yes,
And
sir.
so this is why when we say there's no one like you, it's not just some feel good, nice, good thing, because there's truly. Okay, so now let me wrap up with this. Imagine I had two William Anwanas. I'll have gone extinct by now. There can't be another.
There can't be another.
Because embedded in me was the capacity to deal with one. If there were two, I'd be done. Yeah, man.
Oh
All
my
right. So
goodness.
I'm not going to let William go ahead. I needed us to catch that. That's why I drew us
Yeah.
back and then Kev propelled us again. I needed us to catch what William was dropping. So William, please just go ahead. Your
All right.
nobody can tell you about the uniqueness of your assignment, of your
At all.
purpose,
At
because they
all.
haven't seen it. They can speak to it, but
Yep.
they haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
Excellent point. Excellent point. And I'll just wrap that point by also just re-emphasizing, because I think someone needs to hear that, right? For students in school who perhaps they're going through the educational system and they're not getting supposed good grades, right? What the educational system is saying, that you're an average student, right? Or you're not so intellectually gifted. That is a lie, because they are judging your ability by their own standard. Nobody can develop an ability to measure you based on a potential that is limitless, right?
Uh,
So if they tell you that, look, you're not good at math, you can't be artistic, you can't speak well, just tell them that it is a lie, because what they're saying is based on their own experience. Like you have said, it is not based on your potential, right? The Bible says something very, very important, and we read this verse, but sometimes we don't grasp the true importance of it. It says, let God be true, and every other person, what? A liar.
and
The
what did God
only person, sorry?
and what did God say about you? Say it again. What did God say about you? Let's hear
That
it. What did God say?
I'm the greatest of all time. That's what he
So
said.
it won't make me liar when I say you're not.
Exactly. Exactly. The only person that can tell you who you are is God himself. Every other
Mm,
person, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether
mm.
it's the society, if they have a perspective that is different from God's, they
Is it-
are not telling you the truth.
They are liars.
They are
William said the
liars.
same thing. They are liars. They are liars. Not they're not telling you the truth. They are liars. Say it. Let them vex. But they are liars.
That's it, y'all. Right now, I want to jump up from that by tying all of this in, because, like I said, what is the main context for today? It is success, and we started by saying that it is the thing that everybody desires, right? It is the thing that all of us want to achieve. But we've said in the previous episode, right, that most of us have the wrong perspective about success, because we're judging it using peripherals or idea, or the society's idea, or the world's idea of whatever success is to them, right? But we said that true success is what? The measurement of your performance against purpose, right? Now, what is the interesting thing about purpose? About success, sorry. Success is predictable. I want to say that again. Success, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, is predictable. I'm going to say that one more time. Success is predictable. But
Woo.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Failure is also predictable.
Yeah. Hmm.
Success is predictable. Failure is predictable. The question is why?
Hmm.
Why is failure predictable? It's very simple. Success and failure are predictable because life was designed to function on a set of principles. It means, therefore, that in order for you to succeed, you must understand the principle or the principles that govern that activity and apply it or apply them. If you apply those principles, you will succeed. If you don't apply those principles, you will fail. But the real question is not that life is designed to function on such a principles. The question is, why is it designed to function on a set of principles? And I'm going to answer that as usual by not just going straight to the point, because that's not me. I like to be a little dramatic with these things, right? But indulge me. I want to link this to the principle of manufacturing. Because this is a principle in the socio-economic space that everybody, whether you're conscious of it or not, that is really what drives a lot of things that are happening, right? The development or the manufacture of products, right? Because it is products that we have all around us, right? Whether it's a book, your laptop, whatever it is, those things are products. But what is the principle? And the principle, by the way, is a universal law. A universal law is anything that can be applied wherever you are in the universe. That is why it's a universal law. Now, what is the principle or what is the universal law of manufacturing? It's like this. Whenever a manufacturer designs a product, or let me put it this way, every product that a manufacturer designs has the manufacturer's image on it. Let me repeat that. Every product a manufacturer designs has the image of the manufacturer on it. So if you look at your iPhone, if you have an iPhone, if you look at the back, you would see an apple, right? If you look at a Toyota car, at the back of it, you'll see the Toyota symbol. If you look at the Mercedes-Benz, you would see the Mercedes-Benz symbol. If you look at the tag on your shirt, right? If it's a Hugo Boss, you will see the symbol of Hugo. That symbol is called the image or an image, right? The image representing the manufacturer. He's putting his image on the product, right? Now follow me. The image doesn't go on first. It doesn't go on the product first. It is the last thing that goes on the product. Let me put it this way. Before a product leaves the manufacturing plant, whether it's a car, whether it's a laptop, whether it's an engine or whatever, it has to go through a process of testing. The last thing that the manufacturer puts on the product is the image. I want somebody to get this out there. The last thing the manufacturer puts on the product is the image. I'm going to say that one more time. The last thing the manufacturer puts on the product is the image. So whenever a manufacturer releases a product to the world and it has its image on it, it is a sign that that thing is not just new. It has come prepared and it has come ready and it has come equipped to deliver everything that the manufacturer has guaranteed it can deliver. That little tag at the back of your shirt came on last. That symbol of the apple on the iPhone came on last. The product went through a period of testing. So you discover that when the product went out and it came in this little manual, when you open the manual, you see a set of promises. This iPhone can make calls. How do they know that? Because they already tested it. This iPhone can connect to the internet. How do they know that? Because they already tested it. This thing can connect here, there. You can do Wi-Fi, you can do this, you can connect to Facebook, you can do whatever. How do they know that? How can they promise you all that? Because it has already been tested. Every product goes through a testing before the image
is placed in it.
Now, here is the revelation. Genesis 1:26. A manufacturer or the manufacturer was talking about this product he was about to make. or rather he had made. And what did he say? Let us make man in our own
image.
Can you help me? In our own image. Pause. What did I say? I said that the last thing that the manufacturer puts on the product is the image. So when he said, let us put our image, that didn't mean that he was just starting. It means he had already finished. And he was putting the image
on it
to guarantee that this product can do whatever I say it can do. That is why he told Jeremiah, before you were conceived in your mother's womb, I knew you.
Yep.
Why? Because I had already tested you. So if I say you're a prophet, that is not an introduction. I am telling you who you are. I am telling you who you are. I am telling you who you are. The last thing that goes on the product is the image. Now, back in, I can't remember, I think it was the mid 2000s or so, there was this time that Toyota, a Toyota company, right? They had issues with one product that they had just released, a Toyota product, the car, right? It was having issues, I think with the brake system or something like that.
All of that, so they had to recall quite a number of them, like a total.
They had to recall. Can you remember how much it cost them to recall those models? Can you remember?
I don't have an exact figure, but it was a budget enough to set up plants. It was crazy.
It was in the hundred
to preserve the integrity of their promise. But go ahead. Yeah.
It was in the hundreds of millions. Now ask yourself a question. Why did Toyota go through all that trouble to recall a set of cars? They might have said, well, these cars have some issues. So if you're noticing these things, I bet just try and manage it for us. But they didn't do that. They said, look, if your car is experiencing any of these issues, right, send them back to us. We will replace them and we will send you a new one at our expense. You don't have to pay. At our expense. Question. Why are they so committed to the product? Now, please understand the question I'm asking. I didn't say why are they so committed to you. I said, why are they so committed to the product? The answer, because none of that is about you. You think it's about you. It's not about you. It is about their reputation. It is about their name. And you just said something. It is about their integrity. Because they have said that this product that we're releasing, we had tested it, and it has what? Our image on it. If you look at the back of that car, you see the image and the symbol of Toyota. Everything that we are in this company is invested in that product. And we are committed to making sure that that product succeeds. Therefore, the success of that product is good for the reputation of the manufacturer. If the product fails, the reputation of the manufacturer is at stake. Guys, you are a product. God himself created you, has put within you the potential to do something. And he has said that I am putting on you my image. In Hebrew, the word for image means characteristics. In other words, the name of a thing is the thing.
Of a thing. Yeah. The name of a thing is the thing.
Is the thing, right? Now I want to blow your mind, right? Because when I got this, my mind was blown. So I also want to extend the favor and blow your mind as well, right? I want to extend it. Let all our minds be blown, and we can retire to bed. Now, the principle of creation. Let us understand the principle of creation, because this is very important, right? I want to show you how awesome you are. What is the principle of creation? It works on the potential principle. Everything in creation that was created, right, was created with the potential to fulfill whatever it was it was created to be. And within the product or within the created thing, the source that it is composed of, or rather the material that it is composed of, is the same material as the source from which that thing was created from. Now, let's put this in context. When God said, okay, this place is just looking too dry, I want to see some vegetation. What did he speak to? What did he speak to? He spoke to the earth. He said, let the earth bring forth vegetation, right? Plants, fruit-bearing trees, etc. He looked at the water. Water is looking so empty, man. I need to do something. Okay, fine. Water, you bring out all manner of fish, all manner of sea animals, and let them just begin to do some things in the sea, right? And the sea just began to produce fish and tilapia and goldfish and whales and all manner of stuff, right? He spoke to the firmament and said, okay, I need something to be counting time for me, right? So let the gases just begin to, form something, and let us have light that will be in the heavens. Notice that everything that was created came from a particular source. The material that is in the created thing is the same material that is in the source. If you eat an apple, right, and you don't finish it, you leave it like half eaten, and you leave it on the table, you leave it on the floor, and you go away, and you come back after a number of days, you will notice that the apple in its decomposed state has started to turn to dust. It has started to turn to soil. Why? Because the same material, right, that is in the apple is the same material that is in the source from which it was called from.
Yeah.
When fish die, their remains, if they're still in the water, automatically disintegrate and form part of the water. The sun and the moon are gases, right? They're composed of gases. What am I saying?
True.
If you understand this principle, it's going to change your life. Because when God created things, he spoke to the source. He wanted vegetation, he spoke to the soil. He wanted fish, he spoke to the water. He wanted birds, he spoke to the air. He wanted man, he spoke to himself. Therefore, whatever is in man, whatever is in man, let me put it this way: fish are 100% water, plants are 100% soil, sun and the moon are 100% gases. Man is 100% God. Hey.
No, you have to say this again, because you know what, this totally just opens up a new level of understanding. Now I understand why you say this blew your mind, because when we struggle with understanding this, William, that's when we have the issues of identity crisis. We perform so suboptimally. It is so bad that angels that lack a level of understanding will say to God, what is it about these guys that you are so mindful of them? That's to show you how so suboptimally we perform. For the angels to ask God, why are you so concerned about these guys? Because if we were functioning at the levels that we were called to function, there will be no question such as that. Nobody asks a father why he's proud of his sons that are performing. Nobody asks a mother why she's so proud of her children that are doing great. Everybody wonders why you love the one that is wayward, riotous, and is, out of line. Everybody wonders why you still care for the one that is careless and lacks, cannot contain affection and all of that. So for the angels to ask God, what is it about these guys that you are so mindful of them? It means that the ones that were called out of God, that are in themselves gods, but refuse to acknowledge and do not understand who they are, and more importantly, whose they are, then you wonder why we have the earthly experience, because God will never look at your incompetent self and say, go and have dominion. There must have been something about you that made God say, go and have dominion over the earth. It was not your incompetent self that God said, go and have dominion. It wasn't this struggling self that God said, go and have dominion. It's
Like something I said earlier, William, there is a who that we are. Just like God said to Jeremiah, I knew I knew you from you before your mother's womb. In other words, there is a you that we go to, and that's what life is. Life is when the essence of life is becoming who we are and being who we are. That's
Exactly.
life. Becoming the journey and then being who we are. And so God
Yes, sir.
looks at all the elements, and God looks at the water, and He looks at the earth, and looks around and says, everybody that's called by us, our forebearers, and generations yet to come. God looks to Himself and says, let us make. Let us make. And I like the part that she said, characteristics. The what a thing is, the name of the thing is what a thing is. You are excellent, you are powerful, you are great, you are a trailblazer, you are an innovator, you are a solution provider or opener, you are a
Yes, sir.
pathfinder connected to the waymaker. That's who
Yes,
you
sir.
are. That's the
That's who you
essence
are.
of existence. That's what your assignment is embodied and wrapped around. But
Yes,
we
sir.
miss it many times. Note this before I yield back to you. There's something that you said that I literally just, you know, when a thing is done, because God always, listen, William, God always starts to speak of a thing that He has done. He knows the end from the beginning. And so when the Maker speaks of it, it's already been done. It is not
Already.
an idea to be considered, it is an announcement that is to be served.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. So, therefore, like you rightly said, and you did say it rightly, that after all is done, the image He's now placed in it. The essence of everything is a promise. And like the word is, every promise, because you are God, every promise that comes from you must be fulfilled.
Yes.
Your experiences of the past, the occurrences now, and the future of the promise of the future must be fulfilled so that your integrity is preserved. Now, wait on this. At the end of a season of test trial, of affirmation, the image is placed on you. And so here's for someone. Too many people place the image of friend on who
Mm,
they've not tested. Too many people place the image of confidence on who they've
mm,
not affirmed. Too many
mm.
people, and this is speaking beyond your business, this is to your life. Too many people place this and that images on situations and scenarios that they have not signed up on.
Mm.
The danger of that is the integrity of who you are becomes compromisable.
Yep.
And so tomorrow people look at you and say, well, that's who you call friend.
Mm.
That's who you said was a great guy. So, folks, when I come and I say William Anwana is a my friend, guys, trust me. For those of you that are even close a bit and have seen William and I outside of this space, you have an idea of who William is to me. All right. So, for me to say William is my man, it's certified. It's that branding is there. Too many people are placing labels and images on processes that they have not yet affirmed and not yet concluded on. Be careful because these are the things that determine your experience
Mm.
so far in 2021 and how they translate into 2022. Be careful. So God said, let us make let us make man, and He gave him his characteristics and his abilities. He gave him
Abilities.
his nature and his
His nature.
capacity.
Yes,
So,
sir.
what's the capacity of God? He's able to create not everything out of nothing. Have you been able to create everything out of nothing?
Mm.
What is his nature? He's kind and is loving. Are you kind and are you loving?
Mm.
What is his capacity? He can he can part situations through thoughts and strategy.
Yep.
When was the last time you were able to divide a situation and get understanding from its capacity? He can restore what is missing so that your restoration comes to you sevenfold and you look nothing like what you had to go through.
Yep.
Um, does the world, are you able to go through a situation and you don't begin to bicker and murmur and complain so much so that by you people know that this situation is around? I mean, do people look at you and you have become an embellishment, you have become a symbol of your
Mm,
situation? Do
mm,
you have the nature and the capacity
mm,
of he that created you? Because that is what, like William said yesterday, that is what in his likeness and nature means. That's what it means. So your experience in 2022, which is a chronological time periodica, and we talked about
mm.
time, will come with these inevitable changes, but your dexterity and application of his nature and his capacity will determine your experience
Yes, sir.
in 2022.
Yes, sir. Yes,
William,
sir.
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Oh
I
man.
can't see it anymore. Go ahead. Ah!
Okay, man. Okay. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Right. So, in other words, when you are not functioning the way you were created to function, you are malfunctioning. What, and I'll add one more thing to what you just said. God is able to do this, right? And you're supposed to have the ability to do that same thing, but you're not doing it. What is one more thing that God does that we're not necessarily doing? God never fails. Failure
Mm.
is not in God's dictionary. So if God cannot fail, you cannot fail. You must not fail. Because if you fail, you are malfunctioning. This is the sort of mindset you must bring into 2022 and beyond if you are going to, oh my God,
Uh,
if you are
uh.
going to make any form of sense out of your life, it begins from now. Now, what is the problem? The problem is that the product, we as the product, we are asking we're asking the right questions, but we're asking the wrong people. Nobody knows a product like the manufacturer. So, for
Mm.
instance, if I I'm looking for an example here. Okay, AU hates this phone, but I'm going to use it anyway, right? So this is a product. This is a product, and I want to understand the purpose of the product. So I want to ask the product, "Hey, great and glorious itel phone, can you tell me what your purpose is?"
It can't tell you. It
It
can't
can't
tell
tell
you.
me. Okay, right?
It can't
Okay.
tell you.
Let me ask something else. Okay, great and wonderful keyboard. How you doing? Can you tell me what your purpose is?
It
It's
doesn't have the
silent.
capacity to tell you.
It doesn't have the capacity, right? But it's the product, right? So the product cannot tell me what its purpose is. Who do I then need to ask? I can only ask the person who created the product because he is
Mm.
the one who knows why he created the product, for
Mm.
what purpose he created the product. That
Mm.
is the issue of all those questions that we asked earlier. Who am I? We're asking the wrong people. We're looking at the wrong images. We're not asking the person who created us who we are. Where am I from? We're looking at our mother's hometown and our father's village. We're not asking the source from which we sprang from. Why am I here? We're asking our friends, we're asking our relatives, we're asking our schoolmasters, we're asking our bosses at work. We're not
Mm.
asking the person who gave us the purpose in the first place. We
Mm.
want to know what we're truly capable of, but we're not asking the person who gave us that potential. That is the root of everything that we have experienced in life so far. Guys, it stops now. It stops here and it stops now.
No.
The memo to 2022 must contain this message. 2022, it's time for you to turn over, because guess what? I'm going to discover who I am. I'm going to discover where I'm from. I'm going to discover why I'm here. I'm going to discover what I can do. And when I discover all of that, I know where I'm going, which is my destination. Therefore, no matter what comes in 2022, in 2023, in 2024, in whatever year, I know that I have the potential and the ability to overcome it. Why? Because I am in alignment with my purpose.
Mm. Mm.
Ayu,
Mm. Mm.
I'm
Mm.
done.
Mm.
I'm
Mm.
done. I'm done.
Yeah. 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 Guys, this is a very heavy moment. And I'm not joking. I'm not playing here. When William said that because God cannot fail, it means that you ought not to fail. He's not saying that your life is will be void of circumstances. Your definition and understanding of what failure is what is making you think that the things that are meant to be messages to you are failure. Listen, the challenges and the issues you go through life, they are signals, they are not commandments.
Mm,
They are signals and they're not commandments. And so it's a signal that, oh, we couldn't hit profits. It's a signal that, oh, this didn't work out. It's not failure. And if you take those signals and appropriate them within the confines of your scope and your capacity, you will get an outcome. Remember, principles are ubiquitous laws that you can apply regardless of where you are. When you apply the laws of success with the feedback mechanism of the signals that you receive, the outcome usually, assuredly, I tell you, that you can have success. 2022, notice has been served for everybody connected to us directly and remotely. And as we step into 2022, we're making it very clear so that the elements are not taken by surprise, that we understand who we are, we understand where we are coming from, we understand why we are here, we understand what it is that we are called to be able to do, and then we understand where all of that is taking us to. 2022, the notice has been served that
yes,
the
sir.
image that is on us
Mm,
cannot be confined by the ups and downs that will come within the confines of your time. 2022, the notice has been served that identity crisis and the misalignments of who we used to think that we were, we do not have time to be able to accommodate that going forward in the time that we have. 2022 notice has now therefore been served to understand that the premises of our thoughts and the things that we took as our ideology are now to be subjected to pristine interrogation, have been subjected to critiquing, not just because we are disgruntled, but because we seek to function in a better operating system. 2022, notice has now therefore been served that you can't hold us back anymore. No, for those that will go back to watch and follow this replay, I speak to everyone under the sound of my voice right now that what is ahead of you, that your successes of time past, whether it was in 2020, whether it was in 2019, or 2021 in itself, will pale in comparison to everything that will be unfolded and will be served to you in 2022 and beyond. 2022, a notice has been served to you. Come strong. We come ready. We come with understanding. We come with a new awakening.
Yes, sir.
A new awakening. A new awakening. Some things will come off. Some things will drop off. Some things will shake off. Some things will fall into alignment. It's all part of the story. You'll see it play out in the workplace. You see it play out in your relationships. You see it play out in your financing. You see it play out in your money management. You see it play out in every area and space of your life. These things that we have said, they're not just great oratory. They're not just feel good things to say. They're not even just words that are supposed to set you up on fire and then the fire dwindles after a while. They're things that you ought to hold very close to your heart. And as you do that, they become a guide as to when you get the understanding right from the very onset, the rest of it, living was never meant to be mechanical. Somebody write that down.
Mm.
Living is never meant to be mechanical. When you understand principles, there's no need for jump high, jump low, jump low. You will know what to do.
Yep.
All you have to do first is get understanding, and then you will know what to do. William, I feel this very strongly. I've never done this, but I feel this very strongly. I want you to pray. I want you to pray for everyone. I
Mm.
want you to pray for everyone as regards the things that we've talked about and how we're stepping into 2022 and for the year 2022 ahead. I want you to take a
Mm.
few minutes as the Spirit does lead you. And I know that there is a leading because I have a confirmation here.
Mm.
I want you to pray, and then thereafter I will come and I will close this session. So please go ahead, William.
Okay. Eternal Father, Lord, we thank you for this episode. We thank you, Lord, because we know that you are the one who orchestrated all things and you cause all things to be in alignment with your purpose, your eternal purpose, and the things that you want done. We know, Lord, that these episodes have not just been sheer chance or happenstance. You have decreed for them to happen because you want mindsets to be changed. You want change to be broken. You want your people to be free. You want them to be able to live their best lives. You want them to become everything that you have created for them to become. You want them to be free of cultural mindsets, of cultural chains. You want them to be free of what the world's lead systems want to bind them into thinking that they are not. You want them to be free. You want there to be a release. And Father, as you have led us, we have done our best to ensure that these things happen. And you alone are the one that can bring it to come to pass. Therefore, we let your spirit run free. You let your spirit do everything that he needs to do to ensure that your purpose, your eternal purpose, brings everything together. For every mind, for every heart that has been touched by the words that we have spoken, we decree and we declare a freedom. And we say that 2021 and all the years that have come before, all the things that have gone on before, all the historical baggage, it ends now. And as we step into 2022, we come with an understanding, we come with an upliftment, we come with a divine directioning that makes everything that we're going to do from this time forward make sense of it all. And we believe that you are the one behind this. We pray in Jesus' name.
Amen. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you for that moment. Thank you for everything. It wasn't the plan, but God knows why. Everything was divinely orchestrated. And I believe it. And I believe that, like William just prayed, that chains are broken and that you are coming into a new experience. You're about to live life like you ought to have lived it, like you were wired to live it. All right. So I also just want to say a very big thank you. Thank you to my brother, whom I love so deeply, guys. And I just want you to just go ahead and love on William Awana, my brother, I mean, he's someone that I've grown so close to and someone that I have obviously, clearly, almost immeasurable level of honor and respect for. So deep. Thank you for sharing such great wisdom, such great insights. I know that some of those things, even as you were speaking, because that's it. When you are in sync with what you are meant to be doing, there's never a fully prepared. I tell people all the time, I never have a fully prepared message. Some of the things that you will hear come as I am here, as I'm speaking. It comes out. Why? Because I'm more concerned about being in sync with the one that has given me an assignment rather than trying to mechanically work out an assignment. Every time you try to do that, you will speak too fast or speak too slow or struggle or no, you don't feel yourself. But when you just connect, whatever flows, flows. And I'm so grateful that you decided to take that route to just plug yourself in and for how you've come here and the effect of what you've done is beyond the 2 by 2 of this space. And this is just the beginning for you, William. And I really celebrate you. When I celebrate you privately, but I want to celebrate you publicly. Thank you for being for being so deep and for being such a voice. There are three things, as you very well know, that God said to me many years ago, and this is my assignment on earth: to be a voice, to be a light, and to be a bridge. And a voice is he that hearkens on to a people and they hear what is right and not what is wrong. A voice is one that stands in the place of authority, in the place of influence, and is able to project a message that will serve to help people be able to streamline their precepts and have their concepts and have their ideology and philosophy and mentality and an attitude in alignment, in agreement with he that has given them a purpose. A light is understanding is knowledge. And so when you are a light, you are helping people, you're shedding information, you're shedding education, you're empowering people, you're illuminating them, you're giving them clarity. And oftentimes, as I always will say, sometimes you have to shine your light so that others can use your light to find their way to their own light. So being a light is important. And the third is to be a bridge, to serve as a connect that takes people from where they are to the possibilities of their potentials. And I can safely announce to you, William, that you have been each of these three and not in any small measure. So I want to just say thank you from my heart, William, from my heart to yours. Thank you for being a light. Thank you for being a voice. And thank you for being a bridge. I love you deeply, 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 deeply. You know that. You know that. You know that. Thank you so much. And to everybody that has joined us over this December series, this is next Sunday is the last episode of the Connect for the year 2021. It's the day before my birthday. My birthday is on the 20th of December, and so we'll be having yep, celebration episode, birthday episode next Sunday. So the invites will be out pretty soon. But so this serves as literally the end of our faculty of our cohorts for 2021. And so I want to thank everybody that joined us from the 10th of January, all right, when we ran opened up for this year. From the 10th of January to today and the 19th of December, we've run every Sunday without fail, same time, 7 p.m. We've done the same from last year. The consistency even blows me. At times when I'm stuck at an airport or something, people come in and take over the hosting. I am so honored and deeply honored. I have a message for everybody next Sunday, so let me not get ahead of myself. But I want to say thank you to everybody that has joined us. Thank you to all the viewers, those that watch a lot of replays. Sometimes I go back to replays and I'm seeing 300 views, I'm seeing 400 views, people going on Tuesdays, on Wednesdays just to catch the replay and all of that. And I'm like, what? We run in and out of season. We run at the same time that Big Brother Nigeria Nigeria is happening, and you can understand how people are so drawn away to those things. And yet, because we've maintained consistency, people coming in and all of that, we are where we are today. So I want to say massive thank you to everybody. My mind is blown. I have to go back to myself. Let me tell you what happens after every episode of Connect. William and I will get on the phone, and then we'll now go back to the replays, and then we're not watching, and that's how we get to sleep. And we're blessed, and all of that. So, hey, have a great week, guys. We're going to be connecting with you in the course of the week by way of our social media messages and all of that. We'll let you know what's going to come up on the 19th of December. I'm excited. It's my birthday. I can't wait. And so we'll see how that plays out. All right. So to everyone out there, thank you so much. We love you. Oh, my goodness. Itoro Akama. Itoro, much love to you. Okay, let me put up Itoro's comments. I just saw that now. Sorry for those of you that have been sending messages. I am overwhelmed right now. Thank you for being in sync with the one who sent you on assignment. Yes, 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 yes. Much love to Itoro, such an icon. She's also a voice, a bridge, and a light. All right. So guys, we gotta go. We gotta go. We got to go. Good episode it was, and we'll catch up next Sunday. Till then, keep connecting. Good night, everyone.
Of all time.
No, it's not of all time, guy. You can't be doing of all time.